Well, hello everybody, and oh my god, it's almost here.
Just several weeks, and all of Nirvana shall be ours.
Yes. Welcome to Voices from the Vortex.
Hey.
This is Taylor.
Hi, this is Matt.
Yes, and this is technically episode... or what is it? 14. Episode 14. I don't even know anymore.
Enjoy that number, folks. It'll change soon.
It's about to change. Yeah, we're going crazy. We're slashing numbers here.
Prices.
We're gonna be we're gonna be changing podcasts. Just so you know, this is the last podcast that is going to be sort of our old format.
Yes, and I will say this real quick. I want Taylor's really leading this podcast today, but I wanted to interject something real quick for everybody. At the time that this podcast comes out, there will in fact be a couple of trailers on YouTube, on our new YouTube channel, talking about our new format.
Yes,
Generation.
Go check those out.
Yes. Oh, yes. I just finished working on Taylor's today, actually. I haven't even showed it to him yet, so...
Oh, my God. You haven't.
I'm going to make you wait, too.
Oh, you turkey. All right.
So,
all right, man.
Anyway, I'm excited, man. Listen, this is August, and this is the run-up, man. This is it. Stuff's happening.
We've got so much to talk about. First of all, there was finally, guys... a trailer. We waited, and it's finally here. Most of you, it's been a while since it's been out, so you've probably seen it, but we're gonna dissect this mother here.
Oh, this trailer.
Oh my god. Okay.
But there was a teaser before it, right?
Yes.
I think. Well, you want to do the teaser first?
Oh well, let's talk about the teaser first. It technically came out after, but we talk about it first because it's really short. It's the TARDIS, and then it pans up, and the Doctor's doing some teaser, he's doing some like yoga or something on top. I don't know what he's doing. He's sitting there meditating, and it pans up to his face, and his eyes open, and he says, "Listen."
You know what? I love this. I love as it's panning up. You see the TARDIS is in space. You see the doors open. So you see the inside, and you hear the music like it's getting ready to do like. Going into the credits or something, or going into, something, and you hear this music, and it's just like, and it just stops, and it's right on him. That intensity, man. Those eyebrows.
It's all about the eyebrows. Well, the thing about this is funny. We talked about this a while back when we were talking about, I think we were talking season 6 or something, but we were laughing at Stephen Moffat how, first it was silence in the library, and then it was the silence, and then it was... the whispermen, be quiet, and now it's listen.
Now that everyone's sufficiently been quiet,
yes,
we have something to tell.
Listen. I wonder if this is going to be a theme in the season.
Well,
of listen or of or something.
I have a theory, but we're going to get to it after we talk about the trailer.
Okay, so. The main thing I got from the trailer is Capaldi is going to be my new favorite Doctor. Like, no joke. I'm sorry, Tennant, but you're great, but Capaldi is just... he's not even... The show's not even out yet, Matt. I've said this, but he's going to be so good.
He is. If you've seen the trailer, you've seen... I mean, he's got this fierceness, like they've been saying. But this one quote he keeps saying, this one line he keeps... or monologue he's delivering where he says, I've lived for over 2,000 years, and I've done terrible things. It is about time that I did something about that. And it's just... This is the direction for the Doctor.
Yeah,
new life, new regenerations.
A new purpose instantly. He's got... Time to go.
He can fix the wrongs in his life.
Yeah.
We used to talk about it. They used to joke about it. The fact that the Doctor never stayed. He would land, do stuff, and then hike away, as fast as humanly possible. Monsters have said this to the Doctor in the show. But now it looks like maybe he's changed his mind. Yeah. Maybe now he wants to stay. He wants to fix it.
It's going to be interesting. One thing I thought was interesting about this trailer is there's no Danny Pink is in this trailer at all.
Interesting, actually, that you say that, because
they're being real mysterious with him.
Do you remember a couple months back? There was a big thing. Maybe it was a month back now. there was a thing that Moffat said where he said that the big thing about this season is that there are consequences, that the Doctor doesn't always come back for you, that the Doctor, what happens when you're with the Doctor affects you, and that's just the way it is. When they were doing some of the filming for the final episode, there were some pictures being taken, or one of the final episodes. There was pictures that we saw surfacing online, and one of them was Clara looking at a Cyberman as the Cybermen, I guess, were marching downtown in London. And
we talked about this. Yeah,
one of the Cybermen didn't have a face, like it didn't have the front of the helmet on, just the back. We couldn't really see who was in it, but it looked like a young black man. So I'm wondering if the story of Danny Pink is the cautionary tale. I'm wondering.
Could be
his end,
and they don't want to. Yeah, they don't want to give too much away.
Right.
And anything in the ways in the trail. So, pretty exciting. We know there's going to be some Daleks. We saw some Daleks. We saw some Cybermen. I'm pretty sure. Dinosaurs. On a London. I mean, a T-Rex, man.
It
just
looked good.
Stomping next to Big Ben. And
it looked nothing like when Pertwee faced it.
No. No, those were rubber and floppy and just the cheesiest cheese.
It's the way it should be sometimes.
Yes, that's the way. Yeah, that's the way it was. But this looks good.
So some of the things from the trailer I saw that I loved. Daleks. Good. Yes. Lots of Dalek stuff. The Pater Noster gang, we saw them. We saw what else? We saw a bunch of ships, a bunch of planes fighting what looked like Dalek ships. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't harken back to the pilots that could fly into space from World War II.
Oh yeah.
From Matt Smith's early adventures.
Yeah, and we never actually talked about this little teaser that came out a long time ago. There's a teaser that came out where it's kind of weird. It's panning through the TARDIS, and the Doctor looks like he's kind of frozen. He's like electrocuted, and you can see his two hearts. And there's a voice talking.
Yeah, there is.
And everybody's like, Davros?
Because it's a Dalek voice, but it gets real high-pitched at the end to the point where it's not even a Dalek voice anymore. It is the Davros voice.
I think it sounds like Davros a lot, and I'm willing to bet that he's coming back.
That would be cool.
It's been 4 seasons. I mean, why not?
Wow, my God. It has been 4 seasons.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
And Stephen Moffat, like 3, really. It was the end of season 4. But if you count the specials,
season 5.
About 4 seasons.
Well, you get the specials, and then you get season 5, season 6, season 7. No, I mean, we're on the 4th season without them. Full season without them.
Right. So
that being said, we're also on the 4th full season without the Master. So
yeah, I'm really hoping the Master comes back in some form too, because
not right away.
No, maybe not right away. Maybe the next season. Capaldi looks like somebody who would just be so good against the Master. Another real powerful actor. Those two going head to head.
Absolutely. And maybe let the Master regenerate a couple times too through the show. Maybe use him as a reoccurring enemy for 3 or 4 seasons and see him go through a couple of bodies.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
That way you never know when the Master, very 80s cartoon. They finish it up and they're leaving. What happened to the Master? Well, he appeared to have died in the explosion. Dun dun dun.
Or did he? You see a hand come out of the rubble
as the regeneration energy is pouring off of it.
Yes, and a glow.
There's so much stuff in this trailer that looks so good.
Yeah, a lot of new aliens and stuff.
Yes, very much so.
None that really stick out in my mind, but I mean, it's going to be good. It's going to be so good.
Here was something I wanted to point out too. This is what I was getting back to. What I said we'd wait till we talked about the trailer here. In the trailer, there's a little bit of footage, and it looks like from that teaser, the Listen teaser, it looks like the panning up the TARDIS there. That was in the trailer, very quickly, very 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 briefly. You don't see the Doctor sitting up there, but you see it panning up the TARDIS. So here's my thought: what if the reason the episode is called Deep Breath is because he makes reference at the end that he's decided that he's going to maybe he's going to focus all of himself and trying to find, find where he needs to go. And so the end of the episode, he takes he says, "Time for a deep breath" or something, and he flips up to the top of the TARDIS, and he's sitting there, and he hears something. He's, "Listen," like that's the key from the episode that says, "Well, he figured out where he's going."
Yeah,
wouldn't that be a cool ending if that was the last?
That'd be a cool, real ending to an episode. Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought that was cool.
I like that. Nothing else I can think about it from this trailer. I mean, it just got me really excited, and gosh, Capaldi's intensity really, and his presence just it's just there, and it's going to be fantastic. Okay.
Oh, one more thing. Sorry.
Yes.
I know we're ready to move
ahead.
on. One more thing, man. We saw the new Sonic.
Or is it the old Sonic?
It looks a lot like Matt Smith's Sonic, except it's not as bulky. It's much slimmer. Just more of a cylindrical metal shaft. It looks like it's sort of stripped down.
Yeah.
But it's the Matt Smith screwdriver with a little stripped down take on it.
Well, I hope they do change it, because that was one thing that bugged me at first when I thought maybe they weren't going to. It needs to be new for him. I don't know. It seems more like he needs something more slick.
Well, like even the colors in the TARDIS are changing. It's going from very blue and cold tones to warm and red tones.
Yeah, a little bit more. Yeah. All right.
Yes.
There's been a lot of... I feel like every day there's like some new interview or maybe it was one long interview and they just chop it up into bits and then they spit it out once a day or something. But there's been a couple. One by Capaldi.
Yeah.
He says, and I'm sorry, all you Hooflay fans out there, shippers out there, he says there's going to be no flirting.
Yup.
Period.
He, in fact, in the interview, he says, this is very important, his getting Doctor Who was conditional on it. He was very, very adamant about it. He even said that he had to convince them. But he did not want there to be any sort of flirting or sexual tension. That he did not want to have that kind of relationship with his companion.
Well, even Moffat has said, this show needed a change. They were kind of getting into too much of a routine with some of the same characteristics of what's going on between the characters, and they needed a shakeup. So that's definitely a shakeup, because ever since Eccleston, it's been flirting, and with the exception of Martha, or not Martha, with the exception of Donna.
Yeah.
Well,
even with Donna, there was a little bit of that best friend flirting that goes on, and they were never going to be together, but it was she idolized him and he idolized her in different ways.
I think this is going to be good. I think it's going to be more. I think what I keep hearing is it's going to be more like Classic Who, which that's great. I think it is going to be. I think it's interesting that he wanted that. It makes more sense. He's older.
With his age, yeah.
It'd be a little weird if they kept that going, even though he's the same person. That's the weird, but
but here's the thing, it is a change. We're as Americans, we're really used to the hero's journey paired with a love story. We almost
a romantic,
that's that. But if you do watch old Who, while there was always a little bit of hinting at certain companions to doctors, it was far more a father-daughter, father-son relationship.
Yeah.
Or maybe like a crazy uncle. I like that idea that they're going to go back to that. And they, maybe that was the same interview where they were saying stories are going to be much darker. But in the sense that they're not going to be action adventures, they're going to be dramas with serious moments of gravitas, entire scenes where you're sitting there, Sorry, I just
pictured that T-Rex walking. You said serious moments of gravitas, and then I pictured the T-Rex going through.
Yes, exactly like that. Thank you.
Yes.
I like what they're doing. I really do. I like where they're going with it.
Yeah. I also heard that it's going to be more like he's going to be more alien again, and look at humans as a weird as weird, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you strange humans and what's with your weird obsessions with this and that, and
right.
He's gonna be more like that, so which would be funny.
And they really they're playing up this idea that if you listen to all this stuff, you see Capaldi's Doctor feels more like Eccleston. It feels more like Sylvester McCoy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good, because the idea that he's doing stuff behind the scenes. Matt Smith lied a lot.
I think Hartnell too. I think he's going to be real reminiscent of Hartnell too,
where he's got his own agenda, and it isn't malicious, but it's not necessarily human friendly.
Yeah,
it's his agenda.
Yeah, well, it's been I recently just watched a Tenet episode, and they were asking him what his obsession with Earth was, and he said, well, recently, last several years, it's I became homeless with Time War, and Earth was kind of there for him, right? So he's been so much about Earth in this new Who, and I think he may be finally past that point now, especially now that Gallifrey's not gone.
Yeah,
he knows it's still out there. He's going back to more being an alien instead of more of a citizen of Earth, honorary citizen of Earth. You know what I mean? Which
is good. That's really going to differentiate between the different eras of Doctor Who. If you go back and watch Eccleston and Tennant, that's one era. That's the romantic Doctor. That's the sad Doctor. That's the dealing with the Time War Doctor. That's the Rose era. And that's one grouping of New Who. The Matt Smith era is more like a fantasy. It's more like a fairy tale. And he's very different. And that's an era of Doctor Who. And now we're hitting a brand new one with Capaldi. And I feel like this is sort of the focus. Capaldi forward will feel this will be what we do now. He's going to be the Doctor that the others can never be.
Yeah, I love that. From what I've heard, he's sort of fighting Moffat on a few things. I love that.
Oh, they're blowing this out of proportion. I've been reading these articles where people.
Well, I think he's got more. He's maybe a little bit more pushy than Matt Smith might have been. You know what I mean?
I don't think Matt Smith was pushy at all.
I don't think he was at all. I think he's like, great, Moffat, that sounds awesome. but I think Capaldi's going to be like, you know what? What about this? And I think that's great because he's a super fan, really.
Well, and it's a good point too, because Moffat isn't going to do it forever. Moffat will probably stay on for another 3 or 4 seasons, and he'll probably get to a point in the next 3 or 4 years where he says, "Man, maybe I do want to move on.
Yeah.
Maybe I want to just go do Sherlock. Maybe I want to."
Well, and that's why I feel like as we group Eccleston and Tennant together as one era, I think we're not going to group this era with Matt Smith's era together.
Right.
Even though Stephen Moffat is still there.
Right.
It's not a writer thing. Even though he's still there, I think this era is going to be different because there's going to be more influence from Capaldi and Moffat really wants to shake it up. So
yeah,
it's going to be its own thing.
I agree.
Wait. All right. Another interesting thing, and actually it's not interesting. It's kind of annoying. I thought we had figured this out already when the War Doctor came out. Moffat again is stressing, look, guys, there's no such thing as the 12th Doctor. And it's okay, but I get what you're saying, but for the confusion, I think okay. He says the only people who call him the 12th Doctor are the viewers of the show. We're the only ones who number him. Which isn't necessarily true because they've numbered him before in the show. He's never done it himself, but I know for a fact Clara said, I saw all 11 of your faces. You're the 11th Doctor. She said that.
Well, so she was categorizing him for the sake of making a point.
Right.
This is such an interesting argument to me, and it's funny because it's not really even an argument.
No, it's not. People
what
get
Moffat
annoyed
is saying is, no matter what, the Doctor is the Doctor. It doesn't matter. I mean, we really should be calling him Capaldi, and we should be calling him Smith, and we should be calling him Tennant. If that's how we have to differentiate the eras of Doctor. Calling him the 10th or the 11th or the 12th that's a fan thing, because we want to be able to say, oh, but what about this time when I was watching the Third Doctor? He's made a reference in Old Who where he's saying, how many regenerations have you had? 4. Oh, there's 5 of me now. And that's a distinction of regeneration to say we've regenerated so many times. Again, the Doctor would no more say, well, back when I was the 4th Doctor, than I might say back when I was 16 Matt, I might say when I was a teenager. I might say around the time I was. I might, when I was in that age group. But I wouldn't say that Matt was a different Matt than I am today.
Right.
I am this Matt. That is that Matt. I'm the same Matt. I've changed. I've grown. Time has passed. So for the Doctor, that's what it is. He's 2,000 years old. He might look back on his versions of himself and say, well, and when I was younger and I had already regenerated so many times, this is how I felt, But he's not going to call himself the 10th or the 11th Doctor or whatever.
Right.
It's such an interesting argument, though, because Moffat's right. Why do we do that? Why is that necessary? Why is it?
Well, I think it's easier. I think it's easier for clarification. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then Moffat had to muck it all up with his war doctors and his Tennant's regeneration. Yeah.
Look, I have some expectations for Moffat based on some of the things he said. First thing, this whole thing about numbering the Doctor, and that maybe Capaldi is going to take a stance at this, and he's going to try and explain that it doesn't matter how many of them there are. What matters is he has a new limit of how many times he can regenerate, and that's just a quantifier, a qualifier for how many times he can save himself from death. But Moffat, with that quote before, where is it said that Time Lords aren't human, or that Gallifreyans aren't human? Where is it actually stated that the Doctor is not half human? I feel like we're going to get a big revelation at the end of this season, where it's found out that Gallifrey, the Gallifreyans, are either descendants of humanity or humanity is descendants of them, that they're ancestors. I think it's going to be something that he explains, that most alien life are humans, or humans are the cradle for all life, or something like this.
That's going to make people mad.
There was a Russell T Davies quote from season 1 with Eccleston, where he talks about how mankind moved on. They left Earth. They spread out. There were millions and billions of species. So many species, so little time. Those are a bunch of Eccleston season quotes, and I really feel like maybe he's embracing the idea that while there are a lot of aliens out there, of course, that maybe Gallifrey is an offshoot of humanity. Time Lords are just Gallifreyans with additional powers. Keep in mind, all Time Lord society was altered by Rassilon and Omega. Those two tampered with the DNA. They gave them these powers. Oh my god, you guys. Oh my god, you guys.
Oh my god.
That's going to be a title.
That's an interesting idea, and I wouldn't.
I wouldn't hate that. That's all I'm saying.
I wouldn't hate that. Yeah, I wouldn't hate that if that happened.
I think it'd be neat. I think it would be a neat twist.
I think a lot of people would be angry. Here's my thing with that. It's like, what do you think the classic Who fans felt when it came back and Russell T Davies decided, oh, there's no Gallifrey anymore? I mean, you make changes. If you're the head writer, if you run the show, you get to make the changes, and people need to just let it go sometimes. I mean, just watch the show grow and change.
And I think old Whovians do. I think a lot of the old fans carried on with New Who. I think there are certainly those that are like, I'm not going to touch this with a 10-foot pole. I don't like this. But I think those are people who weren't going to enjoy it no matter what they did.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's not just about being a fan. It's about enjoying good quality television. I enjoy science fiction. I like good, well-written science fiction, and this is certainly it. This is certainly a qualifier for that. So I don't think it matters. See, like Gallifrey was gone, and then all of a sudden Moffat says, no, wait, we saved it. And that's great. Like, okay, cool. We're just changing. We keep it going. And maybe in 7-8 more seasons, Gallifrey will be gone again. I don't know. It's not up to us to hate the changes. It's up to us to enjoy the show. As long as we're enjoying it, we keep making changes. When we stop enjoying it, that's when the show ends.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and so back to the numbering, I think I just think it's interesting that just let us call him the 12th Doctor. Like, there's no, that's just for us to qualify, and then you can change it. But he's the 12th actor to play the Doctor, so we call him the 12th Doctor. That's it.
I want to start calling him the new first.
He really is. If you think about it, you're right. He's the new first. He's 1.2.
Right.
I don't know how that works. Whatever.
Well, no, maybe he's 2.1.
There you go, 2.1.
It was 1.1, 1.2, 1.3.
Yeah.
All the way
right.
up to 1.10, and then we learned there was a 1 war.
Doctor 2.1. Okay, so the only other thing I had, which this was really cool, I got my Entertainment Weekly, I always get every week,
yes.
but it had Capaldi on the cover, and I was so excited. It was so good. A big article in there and everything, and there's some new stuff that I thought was interesting that I had never known before.
Okay.
And I learned from this article.
Cool.
The first thing is apparently Capaldi was asked to audition for the television movie way back when, and he decided not to.
Really?
I did not know that, and it's one of those, what would have been if he'd done that?
Huh.
Who would be the Doctor now,
That's
kind of interesting. Yeah. Huh. Would the movie have been more successful? Whatever.
The 12th Doctor would have been Paul McGann.
Yeah, there you go. Yes. He would have. He was born to play the Doctor. He'd be in there somewhere.
I'll tell you what. That's interesting. I did not know that. And when I think about that movie, I don't think about who else might have played that part. Paul McGann played it perfectly.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The other thing was they mentioned some changes that were going to be made to the TARDIS. It's going to be the same as it was. Yeah, how we left it so far. It's that that same design. However, they're adding some things. They're adding some bookshelves and a blackboard. So he's going to be teaching some lessons, I think, to Clara. All right, Clara, listen up.
From this point forward, it shall be known as the exposition board. Wait, Doctor, I don't understand. How can a star be made of ice? Well, and he picks up the chalk and starts doing some calculations on the board. If you look at the invariable ratio of blah, 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 blah,
or he's going to, from Back to the Future 2, he's going to draw that timeline. And then we made this change. The timeline skewed into this alternate timeline. He's going to be explaining everything with a chalkboard now.
If he doesn't, he is underusing a blackboard in the time travel property.
I know, really.
Interesting, okay.
How do you draw a big ball of timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff?
I don't know, but if there's any man who can do it, it's him.
It's him. So I thought that was interesting that those things are going to be added. He's going to be more... And this, we've talked about this. He's going to be more intellectual. He's going to be more mystery-solving, and this is... And maybe more mathematical. He's going to try to work some... He's going to be working stuff out.
A little more...
on his handy-dandy blackboard. Yes. So... I'm excited for this new season.
I am too.
And guys, it's coming up in a couple of weeks.
All
right, before we go, I have a fan question.
Ooh.
This is from Tumblr user Otter Dark, and they ask us, are you guys tempted to find / peek at scripts?
Oh.
I have heard that there are some scripts that have been leaked.
Yes.
Like the first couple.
6.
Oh, wow. Really? The first 6?
Well, they said 6 in total. A bunch from the beginning, including the first, and I'm assuming maybe some of them didn't hit it, but it could have been the first 6. I don't know. But yeah, they said 6. That's
crazy. That many. The short answer is no.
Right.
I am not.
I'm well, and I'm the same way. I am the kind of person, I'm not afraid to read the end of a book first, or watch the end of a movie, or have something spoiled.
Yeah, I don't do that.
You don't. And that's fine. I like knowing. For me, it's how they get there. It's not the ending. I don't care about a twist. I just care about how the process, the journey, how they got there.
Right. Well, see, my wife's like that. She like to check the end of the book just to make sure everybody turns out like maybe a certain character, like, oh, let's make sure he's not dead by the end of the book.
Right.
Or something like that. I'm not like that, and here's why. Television shows and books and things and movies and things that I really enjoy, I feel like the emotional journey that you go on as you watch these is ruined if you know what's going to happen. I feel like the shock and the surprise and the sadness and the joy you should experience it firsthand as it's meant to be experienced through the show.
Yeah, you're absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. You're absolutely right. To all those people out there who have gone, or apparently they pulled it down before a lot of damage could be done. They're nowhere else online, which is good. But to anyone who might have gotten them or wanted to read them, I say to you this: it's always nice to know it beforehand. It is always nice to know it when no one else knows. That's knowing a secret's the cool part of knowing a secret, Mm-hmm. Here's the thing, though. This stuff is going to air in just a couple of weeks. And in 8 weeks, you're going to know everything as it was anyway. And even if the script was out there, that doesn't mean that's what you see. A lot of times what they film and then what they cut and what they edit isn't what the script was. Maybe you know the points of the story, step by step, A to B to C to D, but you're not seeing the story. You're not living or breathing the story, and certainly you don't have any frame of reference for what Capaldi might have said or how he said it. So all that being said, I have not been tempted to look at them or read them. Even I wouldn't care if I did. However, it's not a final product. It'd be like reading a Wikipedia entry.
Yeah, exactly.
I fell out of love with the show Fringe. I was very into it through 3 seasons, and then the 4th season I lived with it, and then the 5th season I just fell out of love with it. I went onto Wikipedia and I read some of the synopsis of how it ends because I had to know. Did it ruin it for me? Well, yeah, I didn't experience it, but I was out of love with it. I didn't care anymore. Not with Doctor Who. I love it too much. I wouldn't want to know.
I love you too much, baby. I'd never do that to
you. Now, if they want to give me a DVD set so I can watch the whole season tomorrow, okay,
I would totally do that.
I would totally watch it.
Yeah.
Screw propriety. I'll just do it.
But I would not. Yeah, the unfinished product, I would never do that.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I believe in being spoiler free. You know what I mean? I think it's more fun that way. I like little hints and like little,
right,
teasers and things like that. But I was spoiled on an episode of Lost one time, and I regret it to this day still, knowing this thing, because it was such a shocking twist that I missed out on the experience of standing up in the living room and going, "No way!" I missed out on that. I was like, well, I already knew that.
Without saying what it is, which season was it in?
Season 4, which is a fantastic season where the game has changed. Season 4.
Oh, was it? I'm going to use some vague terms.
It has to do with a child. That's to do with a child.
Okay. Yep.
And
okay.
the identity of the child.
Yes.
So.
Yes. That's a good spoiler. Wow.
Yes, I know, and I would have been totally shocked, but oh well.
Oh, me too.
I just kind of went,
I was shocked.
I already knew that, and that's boring. So, So no, Otter Dark. I am not tempted to peek at the scripts, and those are my reasons.
Those are good reasons.
But if you want to, more power to you. I mean, if that's what you're into. But me, no.
Right on. Okay.
Alrighty. Well, hey, this was a good podcast.
Absolutely, guys. We are so close. Listen, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for putting up with us just one more time.
Yes.
Before.
And let's take a moment to say farewell to the classic Voices from the Vortex.
2 years. Classic voices.
Oh, my God. This last 2 years has been so much fun. So we're moving on.
Oh, you guys
moving on to bigger and better things,
Time to regenerate.
Technically, this is like the 2-year anniversary, Matt.
It is. August 11th.
Yeah.
I'm well aware.
Yes. I may get this out before August 11th. We'll see.
That's great. That'd be if you're hearing this and it's before August 11th, congratulations. If you're listening to this and it was not out before August 11th, really, Taylor?
I'm sorry, I was busy. Matt didn't send me his stuff on time. It took forever. No, but anyway, yeah, I mean, I've really enjoyed it, but we're moving on bigger and better things.
Oh yeah, and we've already had a sneak peek just today. Like I said, I finished a whole bunch of it today. We have a bunch of new segments, new skits, and things that are just. I think they're going to blow everyone out of the water. They're going to be hilarious, and yeah, I'm really excited. I can't wait. It's time. It's time to regenerate. So
it is time. We'll have our new. The next episode you're going to hear is the first review of the season. It's going to be exciting.
All right.
Yep. And then pretty soon after that,
boom,
new fancy stuff. So.
Hey guys, listen, thanks for tuning in. This is Matt from the Vortex saying, listen, whatever you do, just don't read the scripts. Just watch
it. Yeah. And hey, if you want to call him the 12th Doctor, whatever, man. Just go for it. Don't listen to Steven.
You can call him the 12th Doctor. You can call him Capaldi. Just don't call him late
whatever
for dinner.
You want. Just don't call him late for dinner. Hey!
Hey-o!
Oh, that's the worst joke. I'm sorry. All right, you guys. We're signing off.
See you later.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.